So, the daily download today is taken from Psalm 55, 16, 17, and 22. And this particular psalm is a psalm of David. It is written at a time where he is in a battle or struggle and he's betrayed by someone close to him. And verse 16 says, "As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice." And then it goes on to say, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved." And the first two verses really speak to me of David's confidence in God. God as David's confident as well, that when he's upset, when he's distressed, when something bad in life happens, he goes straight to God first. He cries out to God, knowing that whatever the time of day, God is on as they used to say, that song, Jesus on the Main Line. He literally is a phone call away, a conversation away. He knows that God hears and that God will rescue him. God will even, it says, he shall hear my voice. So God will recognize David's voice, hear him, and really save him at any time he calls to him. And he goes on to then say later in the psalm that he can be confident and know that if you cast the burden on the Lord, he will sustain him. And cast our burden, the Amplified Version says release it. So release your cares, release your anxieties, whatever weight you're carrying, whatever is weighing you down or burdening you, give that to God. God will sustain you. So he will take the pressure off, he will hold you up, he will carry the burden, he's strong enough to bear it. And it then says he will not suffer the righteous to be moved. So he won't fail us, he won't let good people down, he won't let us fall, fail or slip, one of the translations say. And really, the bit about cast thy burden just reminded me of what Jesus said, "My yoke is easy, my burden is light." And it reminded me of the whole purpose of the Old Testament, the New Testament. It all points towards Jesus. You have to interpret the Old Testament in the light of Jesus and what God did through Jesus, in terms of the beautiful exchange of our sin for his righteousness, and being able to be back in right living and being in unity with God through the death of Jesus on the cross. And even that exchange of he takes our heavy burden and in exchange gives us something that's light. Again, it's a reminder of the beautiful exchange, and it just reminds me that actually God cares for us so much, so that he gave his son to die on the cross for our freedom. And so whatever we carry, whatever our burdens, whatever we're worried about, whoever upsets us or whatever our distress is, we can run to God, a loving Father, who will do anything for us to rescue us, and who is able to uphold us and bear us through it all. So that's just such a beautiful reminder. So I don't know, whatever you're carrying, whatever time of day, know that God is there, that he hears you when you cry, that you can call to him, and that he will carry any heavy burden, and he will uphold you, he'll lift you up, he'll sustain you, and you will never fail, you never fall when you commit everything to God. See you tomorrow.